Our biggest mistake is losing the umbrella from the hotel.
From the hotel.
It cost us 17 euros.
I hope my wife is not watching this because she's got no idea about this.
She really loves me. Seriously, no money, no honey, I'm telling you now.
I think just drinking too many beers, not remembering which hostel I was staying in.
I am back in Bangkok, and in this video I'm going to approach a good mixture of people to find out what their biggest mistakes were here in Thailand. So we can learn from their mistakes and you will stay out of trouble on your next trip to Thailand.
10 years I'm living here.
You're living here. Have you made any mistakes here in Thailand, and what can we learn from you?
I didn't come sooner. What was I waiting for? Great move coming here. I highly recommend it. I'm married to a Japanese lady, and if you have an Asian wife, you should definitely move here for at least 3 months to confirm that you will like it. If you're Japanese like she is, then you get the best of both worlds. You have all the Japanese restaurants and but without the prices. You don't have the four seasons. You have just a nice solid tropical weather here, and all the malls. And all the stuff that the Asian women like are here now. It's an interesting fact. When I moved here 10 years ago, that was the first year that more women came in through immigration than men. Meaning, it's not just for men, to play golf. Not what you're thinking, but meaning that there's more than sun and sand here. There's malls, there's Botox, there's cosmetic surgery.
Especially when I'm making travel vlogs, I try to highlight the good things and the best things about wherever I am in Southeast Asia. But for this video, I try to maybe look on the somewhat downside, or some things that we can learn, so people don't get disappointed or people stay out of trouble. Can you teach us something?
It's not as cheap as you think. I mean, you can live cheaply for a few weeks when you get here, but then that, kind of fades away. You still want to treat yourself. So, budget have a budget before you get here, and whatever rent you're paying, a good guesstimate of how much you're going to spend every year here is whatever your rent is per year, just double that.
Okay, that's a good advice.
So I would have that, a couple of years of that before you come here, and then you immediately open a bank account and transfer it, exchange it to baht.
People who have been watching, and meeting a lot of people that have been here for a long time, they're like, Chai, how can people stay for such a long time? Is it the retirement visa, or is it the...
Retirement visa for me.
Yeah. Was it easy to get?
Very easy.
Yeah.
I mean, the lawyer is right here in this building, and I actually did it in New York. It was all done when I got here.
What's your best experience here in Thailand? What?
Oh man, it just checks so many boxes. I mean, aside from the weather and the vibe, the Sawati vibe, and the people are so nice, and the food is so good, and you're pampered, constantly pampered. They call my wife Madam. Her name is Madam for the past 10 years. I mean, it not only checks those boxes, it checks a lot of boxes that you didn't even know.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many, like furnished, serviced apartments. Like I never even heard of them. I mean, you just drop your bags like a hotel for a year, and then leaving is fun. It's like moving after a year's lease is up is actually fun.
Can I ask you what you're paying?
Right now, I'm paying 70,000, 70.
70, and what do you got there for this?
Brand new condo. We're the first one in there.
Wow.
And it's furnished, immaculately furnished.
How big is it?
It's 70 square meters, which is 70,000 baht, which is pretty much the going rate for per square meter times 1,000.
Yeah, and then with all the facilities.
But that's with pool, gym, maids, front desk, and you're right across the street from the Terminal 21. So it's a great, and I think this location's the best because you're between Prom Pom, which is a little high end, and Nana, which is a little low end. You're right here in the middle.
This is our first time here in Thailand. Bangkok the second time, because we started in Bangkok, traveled around the country and came back.
How long have you been here now?
2.5 weeks.
Yeah. How was your experience? First time?
Good.
Yeah, lovely. Nice culture, friendly people, very friendly, and
The weather was not that good. Koh Samui it was.
I'm wondering what your biggest mistakes are here in Thailand.
we didn't make any mistakes.
No, our biggest mistake is losing the umbrella from the hotel.
From the hotel.
It cost us 17 euros.
17 euros?
Yes.
So what happened? Like you just left?
Well, we drank too much. That was the main reason of
the bar street.
Yeah, we left at the bar street. So
Or here?
Yeah, I don't know the place anymore. It was a long bar street with a lot of bars and
Was it a fun night though?
Yes.
Was it worth it still?
Not sure if it was worth.
So what's the craziest thing that you experience here in Thailand?
I don't
Just
know.
crazy
yeah.
things at the market, like the insects and the alligator that you can eat. Those things.
okay.
Yes.
Was it just a normal holiday for you then, or?
Wasn't that exciting?
No, yeah, we,
Yeah.
I don't know, we relaxed for
Yes.
most of the time, so yeah.
What's the best experience then so far?
Koh Samui.
Yeah.
Yes.
And why?
Very nice weather. We were very
Yeah, beautiful
relaxed.
beaches,
Yes.
beautiful beaches.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anything that you did not like so much, or something that we should be aware of?
The mosquitoes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So what
mosquitoes.
what
Yeah.
advice do you give us?
Buy the local anti-mosquito spray, and
Yeah.
it works really good.
Yeah, better than
Yeah.
dates
Yeah.
from
Okay.
Holland. Yeah, yeah.
Nice one. Good to know. No, that's good advice. Thank you so much. Anything else that we can learn from you from your trip in Thailand?
Use ChatGPT.
Yeah.
We planned our whole trip by asking ChatGPT what the best route and the best sightseeings were. So yeah,
And it was fun.
it was fun. Yeah, yeah,
Are you coming back?
Not sure. So
Not
much
sure, yeah,
more of
maybe.
the world to see. So.
yeah, yeah. Maybe in a few years.
Been to Thailand, I think, 6 times. One of my favorite places in the world. I always seem to end up back here.
I'm after the worst mistakes people make in Thailand. Have you made any mistakes?
I think when I was younger, like this is when I was 26, is one of the first places I came as a backpacker on my own, which is pretty overwhelming. And I'm sure I got myself into a few scrapes and a little bit of trouble. Thailand takes a while to realize it's so huge. You know, you've got obviously Pampalhampo is miles away from here. There's more of the backpacker area. Sukhumvit, shopping and buzzy bars and nightlife. So I think you just got to pick where you want to be.
When you were 26, can we go back to that time and what mistakes did you make?
I think just drinking too many beers, not remembering which hostel I was staying in, wandering around the streets of Bangkok at kind of 3 in the morning. To be honest, I'm always proud of my ability to find my way home, even when when I feel like I wake up in the morning, I'm like, how the hell did I just get back here? But I always remember, no, it was I'm 47 now, so it was 11 years ago.
Yeah. Okay.
And a lot of alcohol was drunk back in those days. So, yeah.
But if this is alcohol related, and especially to the youngsters who are watching, we cannot say like, oh, don't drink, because I think that's part of the,
Just drink in moderation, and I think that the next generation is a bit more sensible than kind of Gen X, which is my generation, which is a bit more less about fitness and more about drinking culture. And I'm from the UK originally, so very much a drinking culture. Just do it sensibly, and keep your wits about you. I think it always has this everywhere. Just do your research. I think some people say some of these countries which are less developed are more dangerous than parts of Europe. I would totally disagree. I would walk in a dark street in Thailand more than I would in London. But you do have to, always read. There's always scams in every part of the world that you go to. Learn what they are.
What should they really look out for? Which scams are we talking about that are still relevant?
Yeah, I think there's, when you go to the museum areas over in Pampalhampo, there's lots of guys you walk past who say, hey, look, you're going to the museum's closed. I'll take you somewhere else. And then what happens is you jump in a tuk-tuk, you end up being taken, anywhere but where you want to go. You end up in their brother's, shop. And the other one is when you're getting a taxi. Obviously, it's less important now because most people use Grab, but in the past it was get in a taxi, make sure that you're getting the switch on the meter. Traveling so much easier now. You've got maps, you've got all these apps that help you. A good app to use actually is if you're looking to get a SIM card is Saily. Okay. So when you arrive at the airport, you don't have to buy a local SIM card anymore.
It's like an eSIM.
Yeah, an eSIM. That's really handy. So it means when you arrive, you've instantly got access to the apps that you feel safer using, and Grab is a great app that you can use for food deliveries. I've got a bit of an ear infection at the moment, so I ordered what I needed on Grab and just had it delivered to my house. That's amazing.
Where are you going? Are you just staying in Bangkok, or are you traveling about a bit?
Yeah, so at the moment I'm using trusted house sitters. I'm doing a cat sit. So I'm looking after, for 3 weeks, some cats just down the road here. At the moment I'm living in Indonesia, so I'm heading back to Lombok after on Wednesday.
Are you staying in Kuta Lombok then?
Yeah.
Good place.
Yeah, it's a beautiful spot. Yeah, so that's why we've pretty good access to Southeast Asia from from there. So and Thailand is just fantastic. And Bangkok, one of the most vibrant cities in the entire world. And right near here is the Benjaketi Park, which is amazing.
I'm transiting on my way back from Japan. I've been coming to Thailand for 25 odd years, coming and going. So, yeah.
Longer than transits then.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So what's so good about Thailand then in the first place?
Oh well, warm. The beer's cold.
Yeah.
The people are friendly. It's nothing, not much to not like about it, kind of thing. You know,
So I'm making this video so people can learn from other people's mistakes. What are your worst mistakes in Thailand?
Oh look, we're all going to make mistakes, but basically, just be a little bit streetwise. Watch your pockets. Don't walk down dark alleys. Just keep your eyes peeled. But any country in the world can be dangerous. You know, New Zealand's dangerous.
Okay. I wouldn't say so, but.
Well, when you live there, you know the ins and outs. So,
But what are the ins and outs over here? You would say dark alleys. Yeah, that's quite.
Oh look, in the early days, there'd be a lot of people that would come up to you on the streets, and they would distract you, and the other person would steal your necklace or take your wallet out of your pocket, or these people are going through hard times, and you've just got to be aware of that sort of thing happens.
But it's not really happening anymore in Thailand.
No, it's not. No, it's a lot different than it used to be back in the early days.
Yeah.
When I say early days, I've only been coming for 20 years, so maybe. Before that, it was different again. As a whole, Thailand's a great place. So,
have you made any mistakes here in Thailand? I can imagine, we all make mistakes. You were saying. What's your biggest mistake?
Oh, look, I don't want to pat myself on the back, but I don't think I really have. I've just sort of kept my nose clean and be careful where I go, who I'm with. I got into a fight with a German guy once in Phuket, only because he was beating his girlfriend up, and I didn't think it was. It was very nice, so I intervened, which probably I shouldn't, but I'd had a couple of beers at that point, and I didn't like what I was seeing. So.
Wow, was it the local lady, let's say?
Local lady.
Yeah. How did that end up?
Not very nicely. I had a bit of a scratch on my face, and...
Police get involved? Or?
No, they just come and broke it up, and... I hope my wife is not watching this, because she's got no idea about this.
Okay.
Originally Australia, but I live here now.
You live here now? For how long already, sir?
1.5 years. I lived here for about 7 or 8 months before that, and then come once or twice a year. I'd come here.
Yeah.
Not always to Bangkok. I'm married to Thai. I married a Thai lady, so her family is near Nakhon Ratchasima, which is Karat.
Yeah.
We went to Australia. She lived in Australia for 10 years with me. We run a business there. 2 years ago, we decided we were going to retire here. We come back, build a house. Her mum lives here. Not this year. April before we moved here permanently.
Nice.
Unfortunately, her mum had a stroke, so she's a bit. She's virtually bedbound, but it worked out. Well, it worked out good, but
you can be there for her now.
We're here for her because she needs 24-hour care, so at least we're here for her now, and she's very comfortable. Before it was an old wooden house, but now it's a nice house, air conditioned, everything's there, so it's good.
Also in Korat or here?
In Korat, near Korat.
Near Korat, yeah. Okay, so basically it's actually perfect that you have so much experience here, also a Thai wife. We are trying to find out people's worst mistakes here in Thailand, so people stay out of trouble whenever they visit Thailand.
Oh, right, okay. Don't believe anything you hear and only half of what you see. There's a lot of people, especially in places like Bangkok and especially around the touristy areas, who want to take your money. So if you're stupid enough to fall into their plots and plans and all the rest of it, well, then you're an idiot. I'll give you an example.
Okay.
If you're a single man, like me, I'm 65 and I'm single, I come here, and if I go to a bar area and an absolutely stunningly beautiful 25-year-old comes up to me and within an hour is telling me she loves me and I'm so handsome and all the rest, if you believe it, then you deserve to lose all your money. Okay. I'm being serious. You deserve to, because...
So does that happen a lot, let's say?
Absolutely. Yeah. Every single second here, some stupid old 55, 60, 70-year-old has got some dolly bird on their arm.
Okay.
And she really loves me. Seriously, no money, no honey. I'm telling you now.
Yeah, right.
That's the end of it. But there are so many wonderful Thai women here. My wife, she was a CEO of a company. They import, export bags, handmade bags from China, big contracts everywhere.
Gotcha.
So she had a good job. She didn't have a past when we first met. We met online actually, but when I first come here to meet for the first time after talking for about 6 months, we weren't allowed to go anywhere without at least 2 chaperones.
And?
Chaperones. People with us to watch, make sure nothing happened.
Okay.
She got 5 brothers. There was always one brother and a sister, or one brother and an aunt all the time with us.
So that's you fell in the hand of a good family.
A good family, yeah. Well, sometimes you think, well, maybe they were trying to make sure I didn't escape, but you understand, you know. But at the same time, just talked about their values and whatever. So, and we're here now, and one of the biggest things you'll become if you move here, if you live here, and you have a Thai wife, there's every chance if you pick the wrong lady, you will become the ATM.
Okay, yeah.
My wife worked in Australia for 10 years. She actually paid to build the house. I didn't. I bought the car, but she paid for the house. It was 2 million baht. You know. So.
Any other thing? This is all like, let's say, women and men over here. Yeah, that's a tricky one, especially if you're if you show your money, then it can go south.
Be patient. Be patient. Not everybody. You're not the center of the universe. Be patient.
Yeah.
There'll always be errors. But they have an expression here, is my pen rai, which is, it doesn't really matter.
No worries.
No worries. So just relax. You know, if you go around and you're loud, you're obnoxious, you get drunk, and you're going to get a smack in the mouth. I've been in around here for 15 years plus, and I've never felt in danger. I've been in the dodgiest parts of Bangkok.
What were you doing there, sir?
Lost and drunk. back before I met my wife.
Yeah.
But the reality is, if you do that, then I've never felt unsafe, and people are always willing to help you. But if you act like an asshole, then you're gonna cop it.
Okay, so don't act like an asshole.
Yeah.
Then you basically stay out of trouble like this. But are there any other things that we have to look out for? I just wanna help the people. I don't want people to watch this video and think like, I didn't learn anything of it.
Oh well, yeah, I suppose. What you see is what you get. Don't make a big song and dance about how superior you are. You know, otherwise you'll get people will figure sort you out. No problems. You know what I mean? That's just the reality of it. I drive, obviously.
Okay.
And the one thing I must say is that Thai drivers believe in reincarnation, because they drive like they don't care if they die.
Okay.
I'm just being truthful, and especially on the highways. You know what I mean? You just got to be careful.
Yeah.
If you ride a scooter, wear a helmet. Don't be a dickhead, you know. Don't come here and. So many times I've seen it, because I've not only stayed here but also Korat and Pattaya and everywhere. Is tourists who come here, they've never been on a scooter in their life, and they jump on a scooter with no helmet, and they think, oh, I can do this, and they end up coming a cropper. And have health insurance. You just got to have it. If you don't have it, don't come.
Yeah, I'm partnered up with a health insurance called SafetyWing. I'll put some links down in the description so people can find a reliable one.
Have health insurance, mate. My wife got food poisoning at Bumragad in Bangkok here. About, it must be 7 or 8 years ago. Went to Bumragad. It was like 45,000 baht for one night. One night. Yeah. The reason I'm here now, this weekend, my wife's looking after her mum, is I'm here to get dental work done. Okay. Because I got a dentist there. Bangkok Smile. There's a plug for you.
Oh yeah.
Bangkok Smile.
Okay.
Absolutely astoundingly good. Better than anything I've ever come across in Australia.
So I just set the crown for myself. It was 15,000. What did you get to?
Well, I got. Well, being old, I had a lot of amalgam, like what they call the old silver fillings. I got them all taken out, veneers on all the front ones. I lost a tooth in Australia. They bloody butchered me there, so they put an implant in here. And this is going back about. I actually found out the other day before I come here. It was 2017. Never had a problem, and it cost me about 60,000 baht there, which in Australia is like about $2,500. $2,500 barely buys your filling in Australia. You know what I mean? So, yeah, and the people are just amazing. And I'm not saying every dentist here, but if you're careful and if you pick the right one, I haven't been to any other one bar Bangkok Smile, and they've got branches all over here, Pattaya, Phuket.
We learned already a lot from you, sir. Is there anything else that you want to maybe point us out to, or something that we should be...
Enjoy yourself, just relax. You got to remember too that the income here for most people is very low. I know my wife's brothers, they struggle. You know, they do all right, but they, you know, back where we are, a labourer on a building site who walks all day in the sun gets 500 baht a day. A day. You know, I wouldn't do it for an hour for 500 baht, you know, so just got to be mindful of the fact that there are people who don't have a lot of income. There are a lot of people with money here, but at the same time, just relax, just enjoy yourself. And if you don't like something, don't pull a face, just shrug your shoulders and walk on. It's safe here. The food's fantastic.
Is there something that is not safe? You're talking about the roads. Well, they're not so safe over here.
Roads.
Is there anything else that we have to be careful of?
No. I think don't drink the water.
Tap water.
Don't drink tap water. I brush my teeth with bottled water. I suppose one big thing, especially for young blokes who are out here having a woo-hoo time, don't smoke marijuana out in the open. It's because it's against the law. Don't vape. It's against the law. Don't think, oh, nobody's here or see me. Somebody will see you. And if they do catch you and they tell you it's a 500 baht fine and you think you're being ripped off by the policeman, which is in all likely you are, just pay the money and go away. Because if you don't and you get them offside, you'll be in the pokey and it'll cost you tens of thousands of baht. So if you're on a motorbike and they pull you up and they say, oh, you did this, that's 400 baht, just give them the 400 baht and move on.
That's good advice. I actually forgot to ask you the main question. What has been your biggest mistake here in Thailand?
Biggest mistake. I bought a bar. That was my biggest mistake.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where?
Before COVID. Oh, not here. In Hua Hin.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hua Hin. Big mistake there. Oh.
Why? Why is it a big mistake? I mean, sounds pretty good.
It was before I met my wife. It was fantastic. You know, I mean, it's a dream, isn't it? You go down and drink for free. I had like 7 or 8 big TVs playing every sport known to man. Beautiful ladies running around serving the customers. You know. But every single person, whether it's the government, the police, the local mafia, whatever, they all come around and they're all taking money out of you.
Wow.
And the threat is real. So I just wouldn't go into that business. Plenty of other businesses. I had a hairdressing salon too for a while.
How long did you have it for?
Had the bar for about a year and a half.
Yeah.
But then I had to go back to Australia and I just sold it. I had the hairdressing salon at the same time. I was transitioning out of the bar into the hairdressing salon. The problem here is you can't own property. You've got to pay people off. You've got to shovel money sideways.
What I don't want to do is giving a negative image to Thai people.
Right. Oh no, they're fantastic. The greatest people in the world.
Yeah.
Oh, I love them. That's why I've decided I gave up. I had property and everything else in Australia. I sold everything and living here. I intend to die here. Just smile, be polite, and even if you think they've done something horrendous, just smile and walk away. It doesn't cost you anything, and you'll have a better time here.
Have you made any mistakes here in Thailand which we can learn from? Please keep the conversation going in the comment section. I'd like to say from the capital city of Thailand in Bangkok, bye for now and stay jam.